Trade with Japan's Prime Minister on Friday. Joining us now, Curtis Ellis, former trade and jobs advisor to the Trump campaign. Good morning to you, Curtis. So are we going to get a deal with Japan ahead of China? We'll talk about China in a minute, but can we get something done with... Apparently, there's quite a bromance between...
That's right.
Japan's Abe and Mr. Trump.
It's absolutely in Japan's interest to make a deal with us. They realize that China is not their friend, just like China is not our friend. And Mr. Trump, President Trump, is talking about a 25% tariff on imported automobiles,
right,
which, of course, would be would kneecap the Japanese economy. They've made their fortunes on selling Toyotas and Nissans and all kinds of cars over here. So we want to export more agricultural products to Japan. They want to keep their auto market in place. The wild card here...
Is it an important market for U.S. producers, Japan? Is it that big?
Well, they have been keeping our farm products out. And that is really the key to this whole thing.
Right.
And as you talk about auto tariffs, don't forget about truck tariffs. We have a 25% tariff on pickup trucks. And that happens to be the healthiest sector of the American automobile industry. Coincidence? I don't think so.
All right, well, let's move from Japan to China. More China trade talks this week.
Right.
The South China Morning Post saying that, reporting that a deal could be signed as early as June. I'm not sure where this comes from. Do you buy it? We've heard these things before. Any truth in that, you think?
I really would take that with a large pillar of salt. we have seen for the last 2 years anonymous sources about the Mueller investigation that all proved to be untrue. And I think we're seeing a repeat play of that again. Look, we'll have a deal when the Chinese Communist Party Politburo understands that we're not going to let them get away with cheating anymore.
What's the major stumbling block? Is
enforcement.
It enforcement?
Yes.
That's it?
Enforcement, exactly.
How to monitor it?
We've lived with 40 years of empty promises from the Chinese Communist Party, and this president is not going to put up with it anymore. And if they in Beijing believe that somehow a Democratic administration or a Democratic opponent to President Trump next year is going to be any easier on them, they have a rude awakening. Because the Democrats are just as hawkish on China as President Trump is.
Yeah, but do they have a leader
more
that will have the backbone like President Trump, who's not afraid to just say it as it is?
Well, it's not going to be Joe Biden, I'll tell you that. His son is a wholly owned subsidiary of China. It was given $1 billion by China to open a hedge fund. So we know where Joe Biden is. He voted for normal trade relations with China. But yes, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, the leaders in the legislative branch are very aware of how bad China is.
All right, one last one for you. The Journal reporting that the USMCA, which is, you know, the new NAFTA, in other words, facing an uphill battle in the House. Democrats saying they're not going to pass it. They want to make some changes. And I believe protecting labor rights in Mexico is important.
Exactly right. Now, is this a hill the Democrats want to die on? Everybody knows the new NAFTA, USMCA is a better deal for American workers, and they're going to say, we're going to veto this because it doesn't do enough for Mexicans. I don't think that's a really strong political
but they could block it.
Hand to play. And they could pay the price for doing that.
All right. We'll see at the ballot box.
At the ballot box next year when President Trump beats him over the head with it. Bill Clinton signed this nasty deal. I fixed it, and you won't approve my fix.
All right. Doesn't play well for them. All right. Curtis, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it. Let's take a look again at